Hello all, welcome to my video on effect of inhibitors of protein synthesis. So let's see that which are different kind of inhibitors that which affect the protein synthesis mechanism. And in this, for example, I'm going to give you about the antibiotic tetracyclines. So tetracyclines are the class of antibiotics having a nucleus of 4 cyclic rings. You can see over here the 4 cyclic rings. Okay, so these are the broad spectrum antibiotics whose misuse has resulted in many resistant bacterial strains. So what do you mean by the broad spectrum? Broad spectrum means this class of antibiotics inhibits any kind of microorganism. It may be gram positive or gram negative. So these are the chlortetracycline is the first member among the tetracycline isolated from Streptomyces aureofaciens. So these are the tetracycline antibiotics which are isolated from the bacteria Streptomyces aureofaciens in 1948. So this is a animatory video of protein synthesis, that how the protein synthesis actually occurs and how this tetracycline or this different kind of antibiotics inhibits the protein synthesis mechanism. So this is the normal process where ribosomes bind to the mRNA. This is the N-formyl methionine attaches to the P site, that is the peptidyl site, and other one is the A site. And the amino acid tRNA brings the new amino acid to the A site and transfers the peptide to the other chain. So this is the normal process. It continues till it attains the stop codon. So this is in detail elongation process of translation. Here you can see the P site, that is the peptidyl site, okay, and this is the P site and this is the A site, that is the acceptor site. Here you can see that at the P site the N-formyl methionine tRNA is attached and the amino acid tRNA with the charged amino acid attaches to the acceptor site. Then to the acceptor site, every time the different kind of amino acids are attached and passed on to the P site for the growing polypeptide chain, and the elongation continues till it attains the stop codon. So let's see the mechanism of action of tetracycline, that these are mainly the bacteriostatic medicines. Bacteriostatic means it only inhibits the growth of microorganisms rather than killing the whole bacterial strains. So just to inhibit the growth we are using this medicine. It acts by binding to the 30S ribosome of the susceptible organism, which interferes with the attachment of tRNA to the acceptor site. So mostly it inhibits the acceptor site of the ribosome. So due to this, peptide chain fails to grow and thus the protein synthesis is inhibited. So the carrier involved in the active transport of tetracycline is absent in the host mammalian cells, and thus it doesn't have any harm to the human ribosomal cells, cause it cannot bind to the mammalian 40S or 60S ribosomal units, because it inhibits only the 30S ribosomal unit. Thus the protein synthesizing apparatus of host cell is less susceptible to tetracyclines. So due to this, the tetracyclines are selectively toxic to the microbes and not to the host. So this is the actual mechanism. This picture is detecting the actual mechanism of tetracycline inhibition. So tetracycline once come into the bacterial cell, it first binds to the 30S ribosomal unit, okay, and on the 30S ribosomal unit it binds to the A site. It binds to the A site, where at the A site, as we know that normally the amino acid tRNA along with the new charged amino acid attaches to the A site and it transfers, and this growing polypeptide chains are transferred to the new charged amino acid tRNA. But what happens, due to the binding of tetracycline to the acceptor site, the amino acid tRNA with the new charged amino acid doesn't attach, and so therefore the protein synthesis further is not proceeded. So here in this image also you can see the inhibition of protein synthesis by different kind of antibiotics. So here first you can see the chloramphenicol, which binds the binding site of chloramphenicol is different, that is the 50S of bacterial strain. So it binds to 50S rRNA and inhibits the formation of peptide bond which is formed between the two amino acids. So as there is inhibition of peptide bond, the two amino acids cannot join, and so the protein synthesis is halted. Next is the erythromycin, which binds against to the 50S rRNA and prevents the movement along the mRNA. So the process is not moved further. Then is the tetracycline, as we have seen, that interferes with the tRNA anticodon reading of the mRNA codon. So it cannot attach to the acceptor site. Then next is the streptomycin, which changes, you can see it changes the shape, it causes the conformatory change in the shape of the rRNA and causes 30S rRNA and causes mRNA to be read incorrectly. So this helps to prevent the binding of tRNA to that position. So therefore protein mechanism doesn't occur. So let's see the pharmacodynamics, that after binding of the tetracycline to the 30S subunits, what happens next, that what happens before that, that after tetracycline is taken, it enters into the microorganism and in the microorganism the susceptible cells concentrate the drug intracellular by the passive diffusion of that compound. Then tetracycline binds to the 30S subunit of the bacterial ribosome. It blocks the binding of tRNA to the acceptor site on the mRNA ribosome complex, and therefore this prevents the addition of amino acids to the growing polypeptide chain. So if you see the pharmacokinetics, it's very important that this compound are variably absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. So along with, if these drugs are taken along with the food, it is showing very less absorption of all tetracycline except the doxycycline and minocycline. So tetracyclines have the chelating property, and that's why it should not be taken along with the food or immediately after the food, because if in the food carries the dairy products, it forms a chelation with the dairy products, that is the calcium ions, magnesium ions, aluminum, that is the antacids, and the ferric ions, and so it decreases the absorption of the drug. So the drug should be taken as per described by the doctor, that generally doctor prescribes to take this medicine along with a full glass of water before 2 hours before the meal and 2 hours after the meal. So this, because of this decreases the bioavailability of tetracycline, so co-administration should be avoided. So this was all about the inhibition of protein synthesis by the antibiotics. Hope you liked my video. Thank you.